Meanwhile, though, turning to the situation in Iraq, multiple attacks in and around the Iraqi capital, Baghdad, have left at least a dozen people dead. In the deadliest attack, a bomber blew up his explosives at a funeral in Baghdad's Abu Ghraib suburb, killing 5 people, including 3 police officers. 16 others were also injured in the explosion. A bomb blast also hit a commercial area in the town of Madain, killing 3 civilians and wounding about a dozen others. 4 civilians were also killed and nearly 20 wounded in 2 separate bomb attacks on commercial areas in Baghdad. According to UN estimates, violence in Iraq claimed the lives of over 740 people in April alone, most of them civilians. Nearly 1,400 people were also injured within the same period. Turning to London, joined by the director of Iraqi Democrats Against Occupation, Mr. Sabah Jawad, thank you so much for being with us and your perspective. What is going on in Iraq? We're talking about over 700 people being killed in just April alone.
Well, many hundreds a month being killed by terrorist atrocities. They are still capable of mounting suicide bombing and car bombing in Baghdad and elsewhere in the south of Iraq as well. There are many reasons for that. First of all, they want to prove that they are still there and they are resisting the advancement of the popular mobilization forces and the Iraqi army. And at the same time, we see them acting likewise in Syria with the recent attacks they've been mounting in Syria. They know that it's probably the last few months of their existence in Iraq. Without American help, actually, the fight against them would have been at a finish at the moment because we have enough forces in Iraq. We have determination by the Popular Mobilization Force and the Iraqi security forces, actually, to finish this terrorist organization. However, the Americans have a different agenda in Iraq. One of them, actually, they want to delay the liberation of Fallujah and the liberation of Mosul for the election reasons, which is taking place next November in the United States. They want to delay this battle until the time we are approaching that period in November. And it's also linked with the Syrian situations as well, because they wanted Hillary Clinton to win the elections and they need some type of victories. However, it's a bit muddled and more complicated in Iraq because the American actually thinking about what to do with Mosul after the liberation of Mosul. As you know, there are conflicting interests there. The interest of Turkey, interest of which is declared interest in the Iraqi situation. In fact, they still have military forces within the northern Iraq. The Kurdish regions also has some ambition in including so-called disputed area in Nainawa to their region as well. And the American want always, of course, to undermine the popular resistance against terrorism in Iraq.
So with all the problems that you've just said, Mr. Jawad, what is the key? What has to happen? What do you think the Iraqi people or leadership there needs to do in order to try to establish security in the country?
Well, we know that we have enough and capable force to tackle terrorism in Iraq. What we need is the political will to refuse the American dictate regarding the battle against this crucial battle for the future of Iraq against terrorism. And the Iraqi government actually should take the initiative of saying that we cannot allow this situation to continue because we are given 700, 800 life a month because of these atrocities. And the battle for Fallujah and Mosul must start immediately, and there is enough forces to do that without the American obstruction.
Thank you so much for being with us out of London, Mr. Sabah Jawad, Director of Iraqi Democrats Against Occupation.